pretty self-explanatory as it is. Okay. So today, the topic of today is don't slash the other three tires just because you got a flat. Okay. So the good news about sucking at something is that you have the power to change that. No matter how bad you are when you put your mind to something in the beginning, there is no limit on how good you can get at that thing. That's a limit we create for ourselves. Don't make me pull the Dyson example out. I don't know how many, I'm going to bring it up every Zoom if I can. 5,122 failed prototypes before the first successful Dyson prototype actually happened. So just as an example, there I can give you like, don't give up examples till I'm blue in the face. But ultimately, the fact remains, we only suck at something to the point where it'll stop us when we decide that we're going to stop trying. And now that can be, I'm not saying stop trying like I give up, I'm not doing anything. I'm saying stopping trying could be any one of these scenarios that I'm going to run down with you. That whether or not on a good day you're listening to your baby steps, that doesn't matter as much as what you do on the bad days when you don't. That's the difference. That's the hump to get over. Anybody can Simon Says for so long. But being able to understand, okay, I screwed up. Why did I screw up? How can I maybe try this differently? And being okay with screwing up in pursuit of learning how to not anymore. That's the difference. Okay, so here we got three options. All right, option A is the wambulance. Let me call you the wambulance. Acting cursed. I've definitely been there before. Like, what is my life? Option B, continue screwing up purposely because you unintentionally screwed up. And then there's option C, writing down what you screwed up on and listing three possible solutions you can at least try that you learned as a result of screwing up. It's never going to feel good to screw up, by the way. I want to get that out of the way before I do any of this spiel, before anyone gets annoyed with me. It's never going to feel good to screw up, but it happens and it can be a positive and it can be something that's really helpful for you. So option A. So stop saying things, the wambulance. Stop saying things as if you're cursed. Stop just affirming what you don't want. I say this all the time, but affirming what you don't want is saying a statement out loud that is definite, that keeps you there, that's stuck. Like, I suck at this, I'm never going to get better. Is that what you want? And anybody I would ask that, they'd be like, no, that's not what I want. Then why are you saying it? Because it's proven to be true up until now? That has, how many years you got left on this earth, God willing? Like, there's a whole lot of time there for this scenario to change, but in the moment, we let emotions make us think that what's happening to us is, that's it. It's definite. It's set in stone. This is a conspiracy of the universe against me. And I can get feeling that way in the moment, but you have to realize that you're doing that at some point. And the second most common thing I hear with this is, I don't know why I blah, blah, blah. I don't know why I blah, blah, blah. You're not actually asking why. You're not like actually conceptually wondering, why do I do these things? Or why don't I do these things? You are just beating yourself up because it's a completely rhetorical question, right? So it's just like reprimanding yourself, and like there's no accountability in that. There's just shame in that. It's not going to fix the situation. You're not going to remember how shitty you felt. Anybody have binge issues here? You're not going to remember how shitty you felt after you did it, and that's going to be enough to keep you from doing it again. So unless you're going to say, I don't know why I blah, 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 because you actually want to see why you do those things and learn around them, that is such a waste of emotions and time to talk to yourself that way. I don't know why I blah, blah, blah. Are you expressing or are you complaining? Because there's two, they get very skewed. And I'm not just saying you guys, myself too. I get caught up sometimes in the expressing how I'm feeling, which would be, let's say something disappointing happened. There's nothing, I'm not telling you guys because of law of attraction, you should be delusional. There's nothing wrong with saying like, oh man, that's disappointing. Or if someone does you wrong, there's nothing wrong with saying, I felt really disrespected by them. But when we take it from that and we turn it into, my friends are just, you know, they're just the worst people. And I honestly, I just like, they think that they can do whatever they want to me and blah, blah, blah. That is complaining. And it might very well be the case, what you're complaining about, but it's not helping any. Expressing how you feel about a situation is different. There's a time gap. There's a time lapse on that. The time that it takes to express how you feel about something versus, I mean, we can complain infinitely, right? You don't even have to be emotional to complain. You don't even have to be in any kind of frame of mind. I can complain without even thinking. But when it comes to expressing how something makes us feel, that's a lot harder. And there is a reason for that, because for that, you have to analyze. There's a certain quality of, like I mentioned, figuring out why you feel that way when it comes to really feeling, like figuring out how you feel to express it. I'm feeling forgotten. I'm feeling nervous. I'm feeling, you know, like those things are always okay. But watch the web you spin where you talk about the situation happening to you as if you have no control over your own emotions in them, or that you are cursed with what's happening now forever. Be careful of that verbiage. It keeps you down. Okay. The second one here, option B, you eat something off the baby step. Who thinks that this is the way to go? Okay. But honesty here, put it in the chat. How many times can someone friggin' relate to this? Okay. So you eat something off the baby step. Number one, you didn't text me to find a hack or an alternative beforehand. Let's say you were at a family party or something, or first barbecues after the pandemic or whatever, and you don't know what the hell to eat. And you feel really pressured because it's the first barbecue after the pandemic's over to just say screw it and eat anything and feel like crap at the end of it, right? But where's my inbox? I see nothing. I got nothing. I hear crickets. My phone's not going off, because I could then help you and give you hacks and give you tips. And if you still want to eat the thing, eat the damn thing. I'll celebrate and say, go ahead and eat it. Have one for me. But you should text, okay? So number one, didn't text, didn't find a hack or alternative, ate the thing. Now your body has to not only just deal with the soda that was off the baby step, but because you had the soda off the baby step and said, screw it, I already messed up. Now your poor bod has to deal with chocolate and fries and all of these things that it's just hormonally like chugging along trying, because you had that one soda. And you know what? I didn't do any of the other things. I'm going to say I'll start tomorrow, instead of seeking help to not let the entire day beat my body up. That 2-hour stint at that barbecue can set up days of fatigue and days of inflammation after the fact, and days of a negative mindset. And we know we have a hard time sticking to our baby steps when we feel like crap. So it's actually making it harder for you to go into that week and stick to those baby steps, right? So number 5, I'm going to tell myself it's too much to handle, or I'm too stressed, or it's too much going on, or I can't think of that right now. Now look, if there is, God forbid, truly there's a death in the family, there is something that is like memorable for the rest of your life that is happening right now, by all means, I think it's human. I think it's like a form of self-care to not be always hyper focused on what you're eating, of course. But how many times is it something like a disappointing work day, a bill that you're not sure how you're going to allocate for, a doctor being an asshole, or just general disappointment, a fight with a significant other, things that happen. They're always going to happen. They're never going to stop happening. Unfortunately, we're always jumping through hoops and putting out fires. But how many times do those situations, or it's a bad day because you've allowed them to multiply, how many times has that decided if you stick to a baby step or not? When it is well within your control to find a way to plan around it. There is no amount of daily stress or thing happening, like I mentioned, outside of a trauma or, you know, a death or something catastrophic. Generally, there's no reason that your health should take the back burner. There's no reason you're too stressed to think about what's best for your body. And if there is, it's why you hired me. So I better at least be getting a text. It shouldn't be up to me to get on a call with you and be like, oh, well, yeah, I didn't do any of the baby steps all week. I've been stressed. Because then we're just, what am I going to make you feel bad for it? No, we're going to go forward. But I could have saved you the time if we worked through it the week prior, you know? So that's option B. Be continuing to screw up on purpose because you messed up by accident, okay? And then option C, we have stop stating what is wrong and start stating what needs to be fixed. So if you're saying, well, I'm really stressed, so I'm stress eating and I want sugar. Okay, you're affirming what you don't want. How about rephrasing it and saying, I really need to learn how to not let stress make me eat more sugar. You're saying the same thing, but the way you say one is definite, and the way you say the other leads to questions. How can we eat less sugar? What do you go for when you stress? What's a common stress situation? If we can ask questions and find out why we are doing what we're doing, even if we mess up again, that is data. That is helpful data that's going to help us get to a better place than if we just keep messing up the same way over and over again. So whether you're working with me, whether you're doing a Google diet, whatever it is, if there is a problem that's holding you back, the one hurdle you have to get over is that problem. So the best way to do that is to try and write it down, collect data on it, and seek help when you feel like you need it. Okay, so there's no award. By the way, there's no award in here for who does the most with the least amount of help. That is just silly. That is a pride contest for yourself, because I mean, I have clients in here who have been with me for going on 3 years now. And I don't, some that I would consider to have posts that I could splash all over a before and after, and some that are just completely different human beings now. It's amazing. It's beautiful to see. But my point is, there is no competition of who can get the most with the least amount of attention. You're all in here to get attention, to get the help and the attention you need. So you're doing yourself a disservice by putting the extra pressure on yourself to go it alone when you've paid to have someone help you not go it alone. So don't think that I will think any less of anybody who's needy. I love that, because to me, that shows me somebody who's being diligent and figuring out what the hell they need to do to feel better, to fix this. We all have it within ourselves, but if you find yourself struggling and then beating yourself up and slashing the other 3 tires, you just don't deserve that. You don't need to do that, okay? So one of my other favorite sayings is, don't be so busy drowning you can't grab the life vest. That brings me to my solution, my action step for you guys for this week. So don't be so busy drowning you forget to grab the life vest. Okay, I want you guys every day of this week, I'm challenging you guys to do the frog list. So you list out, for my newbies in here, in the morning, take a few minutes. I know you're gonna say, but I'm running late. Everybody has 2 minutes to jot something down on a sticky note, okay? So write down your non-negotiables. The times that, well, I can actually, oh, okay. So you wanna write down your non-negotiables, the times where you have to be on meetings, you have calls, you have, hour call, whatever. List that out, and then you're going to make a list right next to it, and you're going to write out the things you absolutely must do before the end of that day. Otherwise, there would be like consequences. Like, you must do X, Y, Z, or else you get like in trouble with your boss. Or you must do X, Y, and Z because it's due for school. I don't know, whatever it is. Then you're going to write below that a list of, like, let's start with one thing that you've been floating around as something you got to get to, that you don't need to do. Like, nothing crazy is going to happen if you don't do it, but it would be helpful if you got it done. Okay, so you list your non-negotiables, your appointments, work times, etc. You write a list of the things that you must get done that day. And then you pick one thing that would be helpful if you got it done that day. You want to look at your list of stuff you must do, and you want to pick the one thing that you are absolutely dreading the most. Then you want to get that done first. The example is the eat the frog example, if you've heard me talk about it. And that is, let's say you have this plate of food, this amazing plate of your favorite food. It's magical. There's no carbs, there's no calories, and it could be whatever you want it to be, right? But in order to eat this plate of food, you also have to eat a frog, like a big, nasty frog. Majority of people would eat the frog last. They would enjoy their amazing magic food, and then the frog, I'd be like, all right, I guess I got to do this. The idea of eat the frog is when you tackle that frog first thing, get it out of the way. You can take your time enjoying the parts of the dish that you love and the parts that you like, at least more than that frog. You know, you can then finish with that taste in your mouth instead of the frog. You get out the thing that's going to take the most energy from you and just be like the worst. You get that out of the way, and then you coast through the rest. The magic behind doing this with the tasks that you have to do every day is the sense of motivation that you're going to feel from getting something done, from accomplishing something. It's going to carry over. You're going to get excited. You're going to want to cross off more stuff on that list. And before you know it, you have all your stuff done way faster than you even thought that you would. And you just feel really good about it. You might even be able to get 2 things done that are helpful, you know? But I want you guys, I challenge you guys, and you can send them to me if you'd like for some extra accountability. You can post them in the page, it's up to you. But I want you guys to do this every day this week, even if you think you don't need to, because I want you to see the difference in stress relief, the difference in your overall mindset as you go through doing things and screwing up maybe. You know, yeah, at the very least, share your findings from doing this for a week straight. Double dog dare you. Okay, so let's see here the chat. I did that yesterday with drinking. Girl, we've all been there, especially with the quarantine. I think we've all been there. I have to say, I feel like cookouts are awesome. I just eat burgers with no bun and load up on the veggies. Love that. Yep, sometimes I catch myself when I stress. I question myself, like, why am I caring this much when others don't? For example, planning a trip, work, etc. Yes. You remember my phrase, not my circus, not my monkeys? I love that phrase because it's really important. I would get very wrapped up in the details, and it's because of my perfectionist nature that I wouldn't want to disappoint. I want to do really well. But yeah, are you caring too much? And I usually was. So not my circus, not my monkeys is like my favorite saying for those moments. I do mine the night before, so I'm not rushing. That's fine too. If you want to do it like before you check out for the night, just remember though that you're usually more like frazzled at night than you are in the morning. So check the list, check it twice in the morning just to confirm that you got it all right the day before. Yeah. So did I keep it to 15? What time is it? Damn, 21 minutes. But I hope you guys didn't mind at least. I'm going to post this recording. I'll post a picture of the whiteboard. So if you guys missed any or you were taking notes and I took it down, it'll be on there. But I want you to leave your feedback. If you've seen, I've been doing the $50 cashback raffle. So every time I post one of these recordings, if you leave a comment with your takeaway from it, you get entered to win the $50 prize. All right, so enjoy the rest of your night. Do your frog lists this week. Text me if you need help with hacks or anything. If you cannot calm your stress down, that is just as important as not knowing what to eat. So I want you to text. You do not have to wait for it to overwhelm you, okay? And I will talk to you guys soon. Enjoy your night. Bye.
Bye, thank you.